Mr. K back with another video. As you can see, I am playing NationStates. It's a nation simulator of some type. So you can kind of make your own nation. You can pick what kind of policies. Well, you can't necessarily pick what policies. Like, for example, if you go to the issues up here in the top left and you pick one and you fill it out and stuff, what you decide there will decide the issues you have, and it'll affect everything like your civil rights, your economy, and political freedom. And it will also change this whole thing right here, just by a little bit. It will kind of this right here is like your summary, your nation's summary. You don't really you can't edit it, but what you do will affect it. And then over here on the right, we have, information about the nation. Cananism, 1.2 billion population. We got the capital as K. Leader is myself, of course. The faith is Cananism. Ironic because the nation is Cananism too. Again, this is all about me. The currency is K, but the ferret is the national animal. Okay? Not everything has to be about me. Sometimes we like ferrets. And then we can see we have the region called Kaytopia. I made Kaytopia. Feel free to join. If you dislike it, we can always name it something else. I kind of want to create my own region, have people join me, and then we can grow as a region together. So if you play NationStates or want to get into it, it's very easy. It's free, on any browser. You just nationstates.net, create an account, create a nation, and get started. Now, I will say this isn't something you can work on, 24/7, okay? Because the issues, they come like every 4 to 5 hours, if I'm not mistaken, and you can only get 5 of them max. So this is something you'll probably hop on like once a day, maybe once every few days, something like that. But I will let you know, once you stop logging in for a certain amount of days, it will kind of like delete your nation, but not, completely. Not until someone else like takes the nation name and creates their own nation. But if no one does that by the time you log back in, you can just be like, "Oh, I want my nation back." And if you just log into the same account, and it will ask you if you want to like bring this nation back, and then boom, there you go. Or you could just restart all over again. It really depends. But, this is the region, Kaytopia. If we click on it, we can see there's not much going on with it, just because it's lonely. It's just me. But on the right, you can see, the influence. The influence is based off of your influence on the region, like how your nation affects it. Mine does it as a hermit, but that will change as soon as more people join. I might have a bigger influence on it, or a smaller one. It just depends who joins and stuff. And then we kind of have like the fact book, which this is where you can create your own history behind the nation. So, I mean, I'm probably going to add more facts to this, but it's going to be based off of the policies I've made and stuff, and add some extra stuff. So you can kind of create lore behind your own nation, which is cool. Over here for policies is depending on how you interact with certain issues, you'll get certain policy cards. And then there's people, like cause of death, mostly old age. Sir, 6.7% is lost in the wilderness, but that's okay. We don't have people dying from like gun violence or jumping off cliffs and getting hit by a rock because they thought jumping off into the ocean would be fun, but then they hit a rock, which then again, that might count as lost in wilderness. We don't have sharks eating anyone, which that might count as lost in wilderness if you weren't tracked. But, mostly old age. That's okay. And then our government, we can see what our government is spending on. And again, this will depend on how you interact with certain issues. We can check our economy. And this will also be impacted by certain issues. So, government, 17.7%, state-owned industry, 81.9%, private industry, 0, and the black market, estimated to be a 0.4%, which isn't much, So government kind of controls everything. So I have like this socialist type thing. Poorest 10% make 47,000, and richest 10% make 77,000. Um, my people aren't poor just because they make that much. They don't need much to get by. Um, and they're all kind of like treated equal. So here we can see like world rankings and region rankings. Again, region rankings will change if people join my region, but world rankings, they will just always change. I'm top 3% for employment, which is crazy. I think I used to be like top 5% for a lot of stuff, and I haven't moved up in any percentage, but seems like I'm doing that with both trout fishing and employment because I these two have been like my top like ones for a while. But then if we come down here, we can see my world influence is 99%, which is okay. I don't really care. Defense forces, etc. So you can work on all this and improve it if you really wanted to. Then we can look at a trend, which is based off our civil rights, economy, and political freedom. My political freedom has taken a dip a little bit. And that's because I decided to create a national religion where people have to, see me as like the one true God, um, which isn't great. But my economy has gone down a little bit, and it's gone up quite a lot. I'd say that's a nice jump for how steady it's been. So working on that, and civil rights is actually pretty good. Trying, as long as my civil rights are high, and if I can get my political freedom high, again, it'll be great. But also work on the economy a little bit. Then we got cards. Not sure what these are, so I'm not going to go over it. But I am going to go to issues. Now, if you don't know what issues are, which I've kind of mentioned them, they affect your country basically. So let's say the body politic. If we click on it, it will give us an issue. So you ball in a small a small city in southwestern Cananism was formerly a monarch mon, monarch man English a monarch monarch. You know what? City-state before being annexed in the early history of Cananism. DNA testing on the remains of the last king of Ubalin, King Oswin V, traced his lineage to a local man in the poor district of K. Unfortunate. Um, so that's the issue. And then we'll have some people who will be like, hey, this is what we got to do, etc. And then you'll pick one. So we'll kind of go over it real quick. Mama, mama, get the whiskey. No, the good kind. South Myers, the newly found heir to the House of Oud. It's about time that my royal heir is recognized. I feel bad for this dude. I feel like he didn't get a good education in the poor district. So that's something I'm going to have to work on later in the future. Um, King Rex, and the most high and most excellent king has ever had. And as my first act as king, I declare you Balin's independence from Cananism. Will be free and independent again under my rule. And then turns to your young secretary. And darling, if you want to be a queen, just hit me up. I don't like this dude, but kind of all about, like a specific, city wants to kind of like go away. I don't mind. I don't think it's going to have a big impact, but we'll see. Um, Yale's Oprah Taylor, the current mayor of Ubalin, first became part of this great country as a direct result of when that tyrant was violently ripped apart by blackout drunk peasants to prevent reactionaries from poisoning and breaking apart the nation with outdated traditions. We need to denounce monarchy for the same it is whenever it pops up. Okay, I got nothing against monarchs. Okay, but they do make a good point. If this person was a tyrant back in the day, people, the peasants, took over. But they are blackout drunk peasants, which makes me question this whole thing, if it's even true. Maybe there's a compromise, speculates Wesley, a prolific jouster and part-time mutton farmer. How about instead of making him the absolute monarch, we install King Rex as a constitutional monarch of Ubalin. That way Ubalin stays a part of Cananism and continues to be run by competent politicians, but they'll have a bit of a tradition to rally behind. And imagine having an actual king open. I actually like this one. I'm fine with that. And then once you accept something, it will tell you kind of it will give you some newspapers. It might tell you the effect. City budgets are spent entirely on supporting the town royalty, which, okay, that city shouldn't be doing that, but okay. And then we'll get some, newspapers, houses flooded in freak storm, year's top books reviewed, tourism industry braces for influx, economists bullish on Canadian economy. And then we get some new postcards, this kind of just does stuff, and then we can see recent trends. This could have been affected by what you did, maybe some other stuff. Agriculture definitely went up by a lot, though. So we'll go back to issues. Wrecked by wrestling. I'm just going to go through all of these, and we'll, just to show you what I'm thinking, my mindset. Again, it doesn't really matter. This is a simulator. But if you're really into it, you might decide certain things based off of your own opinions, or you just be like, let's do something I would never do and just see how it went. So let's read. A little kid has accidentally broken her classmate's spine, imitating her favorite wrestler, Bulk Bogan's ferret tackle move. Okay, I will say that most of these are written by other nations, and then they're edited by other people, so they actually fit. So yeah. So other people, like actual people you might know, wrote these out. Just so you know. Like, none of these are AI generated and stuff. Okay, but ban wrestling, screams Winchester, founder of the group people opposed to practically everything using his sign to break your office window. Okay, I don't like this dude already. X took my kids, blah, blah, blah. Worst thing that ever happened. They've been beating up other kids on the playground. Little girl tried to body slam a teacher. Now says he wants to be called Soraya instead of Paige, which is her real name and far more sensible. Outlaw this ritualized violence. Do it for the children. I'm the bulk. Bella spoke. Okay. The bulk thinks about this. Only the bulk can make these moves. But if you kids want to learn these moves for real and for safe, then bring them to the Bulk Bogan Academy for little wrestlers. Okay, so we got an advertisement from the bulk. A school for wrestling. That's not what Cananism says. Says Kay Faby, your minister of party pooping. All Cananism needs is awareness program teaching people that professional wrestling is in fact fake. Then everyone should stop complaining. I don't like this one. I don't like any of these. Because there is real professional wrestling, and then there's some that say they're professional wrestlers, and a lot of it can be scripted and acted, making it kind of fake. But I mean, I don't know. This is a difficult one to pick. Because I don't want to just ban wrestling, and I feel like the bulk isn't the greatest, but they might learn something like for real and for safe. I'm not banning wrestling. So I think these two are the best. Is awareness program teaching people that professional wrestling is in fact fake, but that's not going to solve anything. I'm going to do this one. Let's see what that is. Schools' lockers are filled with fancy underwear. That is not what I was expecting for the talking point to be. Obesity rate has decreased, which is good. Which is good. Obesity rate has decreased. Let's go back to issues. Fancy underwear, not what I expected. Dangerous liaison. English is not the best, even though it's my first language. Okay, your brother just spoke up with his most recent girlfriend. However, this one turned out to be a bit different from all his previous love interests. You gotta help me. She's a psycho. Did you know she tried to put my beloved bunny Fluffykins in a pot and boil her? Okay, I don't like this already. I don't like his ex. Okay? Usually pulls up the curtain to check if she's looking outside. Try breaking it up her nicely. Look at this. 426 unread messages already today. Okay, this is red flags. Red flags all around. Okay. Make stalking a serious offense punishable by failed time. Maybe. Maybe it depends. Agree with brother's diagnosis. I disagree with his method. Okay. Um, Serial killers are known to have mental disorders that increase their infatuation with the object of their desire, leading to irrational and antisocial behavior. Prison time will not cure them. What they need is extensive course of cognitive behavioral therapy where they will learn to decode, process, and alter their warped thinking patterns. As much as I like taking some psychology classes, like this, they do have certain disorders, mental disorders. I don't think this would actually help them, not for all. Um, I mean, maybe for serial stalkers. Killers, though, maybe not. But it doesn't mention killers. It's just for stalkers, so that might actually help. Um, be with, yeah, we're gonna lovesick people are told it's not them, it's you. Yeah, it really is them. Welcome increased public spending or forecast. It's all good. Blah blah blah. Ooh, it, obesity still going down. Crime still going down. Um, disposable income has went down, which I don't like. Employment went up by a little bit. Public health care went up. Taxation went up. Health went up. Okay, I think we're somewhat on a good track with some of these. Plague of the hybrids. I don't like this one at all. Angry farmers have taken to the streets demanding the government to act after reported sightings of strange ferret-like dogs eating all the crops in fields. Okay, I don't like this. Our national animal is a ferret. Why? Why does this have to pop up? Okay, this unholy union should never have taken place to begin with. Ferret was never meant to mate with a dog. I agree. They eat my crops, attack my livestock, blah blah blah. Can't make a living like this. To sue, you've got to give us the funds and manpower to sue anything that comes within a mile of our property and put an end to these freaks of nature. We must wipe these creatures out now or before you know it. Okay, so the key wording is sue anything that comes within a mile of our property. Now, I don't like that because it's not necessarily on his property. It's just within a mile. And that could lead to people just shooting anyone and anything within a mile. So we gotta look out. Not that this will happen if I accept this, but I do agree something needs to be done. Can't just destroy these creatures. They may look ugly, but I think they're just beautiful. Okay, I don't like this one. We could always just kill off all the dogs. What? Okay, all these options I don't like. Kill off all the dogs. What are you on about? Fuck. Guess we're accepting them. Bizarre looking creatures called ferret dogs dominate wildlife preserves. Oh, I don't like that now. Oh. Wealth caps decreased a little bit. Crime decreased a little bit. Obesity continues to decrease. Employment decreased a little bit. I don't like that. Economy decreased. Food. Agriculture decreased by a lot. I don't like that. Mm. Some crazy stuff happening. Crazy stuff. One more. Oh, okay. So like about 5 to 6 hours is when you get new issues, and then you can also write some. Just notice that you can write some. Someone will like edit it, and so on. So real handwriting has curves. What? Conserved for cursive. A mother's advocacy have staged a mock funeral for handwriting, a practice which they claim nears extinction. Okay, pay respects, cursive handwriting. The government's act now require handwriting for all school assignments to watch your sweet and beloved cursive fall by the wayside. Stamp collecting. The neighborhood. What? Funerals, right? Object, but I object to this nonsense. It doesn't matter how kids are writing, but that what kids are writing. We should give them free laptops to keep up with the times and stay competitive rather than keeping them in the dark ages. Now, I don't mind giving them laptops, but I think they should still know how to write. Never understood what all the fuss was about. Handwriting, mumbles, blah blah blah. Them schools should teach the kids very basics. I never needed to write nothing, so why would they quit the academic? Okay, I don't like this dude. I mean, I agree. We should set them up with their marketable skills. Except let them decide what their marketable skills are and work on that. Um. Mm, I'm not gonna force people to do cursive. Signatures have been replaced with illegible scribbles. We already have that. We already have that in modern times. Who really gives their signature out and doesn't scribble? I know my signature has changed to like it was my full name and then I went to a couple initials that have kind of turned into scribbles, but you can kind of make it out. So I mean, like we do that in doctors' prescriptions, scribbles. It really is. They still know what it says though. So we got a new car, power grid, boost education. I actually like this. Looks very nice, but also sad at the same time. Let's see. Okay, things have definitely changed. Let's go back to Cananism and see what has changed. Um, we'll go to policies. Don't they'll usually tell you if a policy has changed. People, not much changed here. Government, um, not a huge change. Economy has changed. Richest people are becoming a little richer, and poorest people are becoming a little poorer. I think I might be wrong about that. I think that the numbers definitely changed by a little bit, but I'm not sure who's benefiting. But government now only has 18%. I think it was 18.9% or 17.9 or something like that. Slowly changing. Let's look at our rank. Rank hasn't really changed much. Our trend line though, not much really. Economy kind of going up. Okay, well, that's what I got to show for like Cadenism. I mean, like we can click on our region. Not much going on. Not much will happen until people start joining the region and we can start working together. This is probably something that I'm gonna like be playing once a day. I might not record once a day. It might be like once or twice a week to kind of give updates on what's happening. We also have a world assembly type stuff. Um, I applied to join, um, and get to vote on stuff. And if people join my region, I can like make someone our delegate, so someone can vote for stuff for the whole region. I mean, that'd be great. We get someone to vote for us. Then we got the world. This is kind of just updates, dispatches. What people write, things like that. So yeah, this is what what NationStates is all about. Play on a phone, play on your computer. Come join me in Kaytopia as a region once you join, and let's become like the top region in the world. Other than that, I got nothing else. So I hope you guys have like a wonderful night or day wherever you are and whatever time it is. And peace.